As we approach the end of 2023, it's natural to wonder what the coming year may hold for Harry and Meghan. However, judging by their track record, I don't foresee 2024 being much different. Despite claims by supposed experts that a reconciliation with the royal family is on the horizon, I remain skeptical. The past year saw the Sussexes' popularity and credibility take hit after hit. The Oprah interview attacking the Queen, the poorly received Netflix docuseries, Harry's memoir Spare, and their seemingly endless PR blunders have left their reputation in tatters. Realistically, the damage has already been done. While some optimists predict the Sussexes will reunite with King Charles and be inundated with lucrative offers in 2024, I find this unlikely. The king may hold out an olive branch to his son, but there is little indication he is eager to welcome back the Sussexes after the attacks on his wife and family. Prince William seems particularly unwilling to forgive. Meanwhile, brands are increasingly wary of associating with the controversial couple. Charities will think twice before allowing the Sussexes to tarnish their reputations. The Sussexes have burned many bridges that cannot easily be rebuilt. Rather than making bold proclamations, the Sussexes would be wise to lay low in 2024. No narrative spinning or publicity stunts can undo the past few years of maligning the royal family. Only through quietly demonstrating hard work and integrity could they stand a chance of slowly rehabilitating their image. But unfortunately, history indicates they will continue seeking attention at any cost. In summary, I anticipate 2024 will see more of the same chaos and controversy we've come to expect from the Sussexes. Leopards don't change their spots, and seasoned grifters don't change their ways. The Sussexes seem locked into a pattern of self-sabotage. Their unwillingness to take accountability and massively inflated egos will likely preclude any real growth or positive change in 2024. So let's see what some more optimistic people are thinking. Well, according to this article in The Mirror, the headline reads, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will reunite with King Charles next year. Now, immediately I called BS. Who is making this claim? I mean, how do they know that Harry and Meghan will reunite with the king? What makes them believe that the king wants to reunite with those traitors? Anyway, let's see what they have to say. According to the royal expert Ingrid Seward, who spoke with GV News, Meghan and Harry need the king and his blessing far more than the king needs them. Well, that's true. But somehow she believes that means that they're going to be seeing him. Ingrid went on to say, obviously King Charles wants to see his son and his grandchildren. And last summer he apparently invited them to Balmoral, which they turned down. End quote. Well, I think she's assuming a little too much here. To me, it's not obvious that the king would want to see them at this point. After everything that has happened, after the horrible things that Harry said about Camilla in his book, and even King Charles too, and then when we add in the fact that we don't even know if these children are real, something tells me the king is not desperate to see Harry and Meghan and the invisible children. In fact, I think for now, he's happy for them to keep their distance. Now, for all intents and purposes, it could be true that the king invited Harry and the Invisibles to come visit him at Balmoral over the summer, and that they turned it down. I would absolutely believe that. But that was last summer. This is now. We have certainly seen some incidents happen over the past year, and I'm not saying that Harry and the Invisible Children did not invite Harry and the Invisible Children to his own birthday party. For example, the king did not invite Harry to his own birthday party. To me, that speaks volumes about the state of the relationship between Harry and his father. Now, I know supposedly Harry and the Invisible Children called him for his birthday, and maybe Meghan even spoke with him too. But sources have not confirmed this, and I am still very skeptical about that story. Another thing we have got to consider here is that Harry is still embroiled in this legal fight over security in the UK. I don't think he's going to be rolling up with his invisible children and his narcissistic wife, unless he gets his way in the courtroom and gets his security reinstated. Because let's remember, the entire case hinges upon Harry's claim that he feels so unsafe. He feels like his family is in danger whenever they're in the UK. If he just shows up with them, well, that's going to blow all his claims right out of the water. And while Harry probably is stupid enough to do something like that, I don't believe his lawyers are going to allow such an act. Another thing is that Harry has been told he must give advance notice to the palace if he's going to come and visit. It doesn't matter if he's coming to say hello to his father or if he wants to stay in one of the royal properties. He is required to let them know in advance. That's something he failed to do the last time he came, remember, and so he was not allowed to stay at one of the royal properties. Paul Burrell, who was incredibly close to Princess Diana when she was still living, has weighed in on this issue. So back in September, he told the Mirror that there's no chance that Harry is going to come see his father without getting prior permission. Burrell's opinion is that Harry knows the rules, and so he doesn't believe that Harry is likely to try to see his family without a formal invitation. He said, quote, "He knows the regulations. He knows the protocols. He knows that even though he could probably drive up to Kensington Palace and go through the police because he's a prince, and he could probably knock on Kate and William's door, but he knows that's not what he should do because he won't go anywhere near a royal residence, and he will not bother the royals unless he's invited in." I do believe that Paul Burrell knows what he's talking about here. Over time, we have seen that it's Meghan who completely disregards all tradition, all protocols and rules regarding the royal family. But Harry was raised in this world. He knows all about it, and even he wouldn't be that awful and so disrespectful to just show up. Meghan absolutely would, but I think Harry feels a bit sheepish right now. He knows that he has messed up. He knows that his father and brother are not happy with him. His brother may hate him for the rest of his life. He may never be forgiven, but he knows that he's not going to be forgiven by William. Now with the king, I think things are going to be a little easier for Harry. I mean, the king does have a soft spot for him, but William certainly doesn't. And I think even Harry knows that if he were to do something like just show up uninvited, that would be the end of it. That would be the final nail in the coffin of the relationship between Harry and his entire family. I also believe that on some level, even in spite of everything we have seen from Harry, he knows that once he and Meghan split up, he's going to need a soft place to land. He is going to need his family to lean on. So I do believe that Harry knows he's going to be on his best behavior. He better play his cards right, or he's never going to be welcomed back by his family. And the sad truth is it may already be too late. All right. So that claim turned out to not be as ridiculous as I first thought it was going to be. But there's another article that I have got to share with you all that showed up in GB News. The headline for this one, just wait for it. Get this, is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle inundated with big money offers for 2024. Yes, you heard me right. Inundated with big money offers. What are they on about? Let's take a look. Well, so for this article, they spoke with an entertainment expert named Mark Boardman, and he must be living in the Harkle zone because what he says sounds to me like the ramblings of an insane person. So he said with multi-million-dollar deals in place for multiple book deals and ownership of publication rights to a novel. Besides running the Arkwell Foundation, the Sussexes are actively shaping their narrative and are certainly not waiting for something to happen. Was this written by Meghan? Doesn't this sound just like her shaping their narrative? This sounds like her variety of word salad. So maybe Mark Boardman is just Meghan wearing a mustache or something. I also think it is a bit of a stretch to claim that they own the publication rights to a novel. I don't think they do. Netflix owns the publication rights, and maybe they have said that they're going to give it to Archwell Productions, but I don't think they have committed to giving it to Archwell. I think if they decided to give it to somebody else instead, they would be well within their rights. Now, maybe I'm wrong on this. Let me know in the comments if you know something more on this than I do. But see, the stuff I have read makes it sound like it was Netflix who bought that. It was not Harry and Meghan and Arkwell, which makes sense because where would they have come up with the money for that anyway? Alright, let's see what else this Mark Boardman aka Meghan Markle has to say. He went on to say, "I know from years working in the media that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will be inundated with various offers to attend events and support good causes." Okay, again, what is he talking about? Who is wanting Harry and Meghan, the infamous grifters, to support their charity? Nobody at this point in time. I mean, just look at what they've done with Invictus. They made an absolute mess of it because they only wanted to get attention for themselves. I don't believe charitable organizations want anything to do with Harry and Meghan. And as for what else did he say? To attend events. I mean, again, who wants Harry and Meghan to show up to any event? Let's remember, Meghan cannot even be trusted to walk down a red carpet in a timely manner. At that variety event back in November, they had to shove her along because she just wouldn't get out of the way. Let's just put it this way, the kind of events that Harry and Meghan would love to attend are not going to be the events they're invited to. Mark went on to say, this is in addition to being received an array of collaborations to speaking engagements that all would equate to a full-time role. 2024 holds the potential for a more positive year for the SASSEXes financially, with more money rolling in no matter what they choose to focus on. Well, our Quill Foundation at least lost money in 2023, but I don't believe that that's a predictor of success for the grifters in 2024. Again, what is this guy even talking about? He mentions collaborations and speaking engagements, but again, what is he referring to? Nobody wants Harry and Meghan to come up and give a word salad speech at their function, and nobody wants to work with them either. We have not heard anything about any of these collaborations that he's alluding to. And also, that's not how Hollywood works. I mean, after somebody has a horrible year and falls flat on their face time and time again, it's called grifters and lazy by executives. It's not like the next year everybody's lining up to work with them. Oh, let's give them another chance. No, Harry and Meghan are finished in Hollywood. Mark also said, public support and being more open will create more opportunities. And he told the Express, strategic choices, open communication, and focusing on impactful projects will play pivotal roles in their ongoing journey. Okay, sure, Meghan, impactful projects. This came straight from her. So I guess maybe she's replaced Scooby-Doo with this guy, since after Endgame, she doesn't want to admit to knowing him. When are Harry and Meghan going to realize that pushing these false narratives isn't doing them any favors? Putting this stuff out in the media, claiming that they're going to be so successful, that everybody's wanting a piece of them, everybody wants to work with them, it's not convincing. We're simply not that dumb. We're not that gullible. Instead, if they would just lay low for a little while, actually do some real work, maybe they could change things for themselves. But I don't think they're ever going to do that. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I predict more of the same BS for Meghan and Harry in 2024. Because at the end of the day, just like a leopard cannot change its spots, a couple of grifters cannot change their ways. Alright, and now time to discuss a few comments that you all left under the video. Cream rises to the top. Sussex losers failed in their mission to bring down Catherine. So we were talking about how in spite of all the attacks coming from Montecito this year, Catherine is doing better than ever. She's not letting the haters get to her. She has officially moved on. So let's see what you all had to say. First comment I want to share comes to us from Christine Wells. Christine says, recently someone I know received a letter from the Office of the Prince and Princess of Wales. I am sure hers was just one of thousands of letters they no doubt received. But in this case, they took the time to have someone on their staff send a short, warm, but very incisive letter in reply. This wasn't a form letter. You could tell from what was included in it that someone had read the original letter and chose to highlight certain aspects in reply. Frankly, this kind of caring, thoughtful, and appreciative letter is the mark of people who truly care about how they are perceived by others, even others not of their constituency, and who are gracious and possess a lot of class. I was impressed, but was not surprised. I don't care what the sugars say. The Prince and Princess of Wales are the real deal, and nothing that the Duke and Duchess of Delusion can say will change that opinion. Thank you very much for sharing, Christine. This is a lovely story, and it is this kind of stuff that really sets William and Catherine apart. I mean, can you imagine if Harry and Meghan even got any fan mail? They probably just throw it in the garbage. I don't think they're going to take the time to have somebody on their staff, which who knows how many staff members they can even employ at this point. But the point is Harry and Meghan just don't care. They're not going to have anybody respond to any letter written by anyone because they don't care. They only care about themselves, and as long as they continue to see their names in the headlines, that's good enough for them. Meghan Markle needs to remember, though, all those people that she stepped on the way up. She's also going to have to face on the way down, and it is coming soon. The next comment I want to share comes from Dizzy Chef. Dizzy says, Catherine is a rock. She is a rock to her family. Meghan cannot crush her. Meg has crushed, but she did it to herself. Princess Catherine has many of US citizens respecting her. We can see her strength. We can see how weak Meg and her friends are. We in the US stand by this stunning future queen, the king and present queen. It seems that Meghan Markle's Hollywood connections are distancing themselves from her, likely due to her treatment of her father Thomas Markle. Thomas is well liked in Hollywood circles, yet his own daughter has rejected him. Meghan's half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. has commented that Meghan is no stranger to abandoning family. Perhaps this history with her biological family is why Meghan has not succeeded in ingratiating herself with the royals. Despite her efforts, she could not tear the royal family apart. Meghan may be learning she does not wield as much power and influence as she thought. It will be interesting to see what 2024 holds for Meghan and Prince Harry. Will they reunite with King Charles? Will lucrative financial offers come flooding in? Share your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and share it with others. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any updates. Have a wonderful New Year celebration with loved ones. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.